if you guys are hiring, old Patty is, I'll put my resume in because it's ideas like this that are solid gold.
And Kaylin, let's go ahead and flag that real quick. Let's go back and let's bleep the. We'll have to bleep that too. I'm very sorry, but let's bleep that joke.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was some of your best work.
Yeah. Too much?
Yeah.
Well, you got to be brave out here.
Mm-hmm.
You do.
Takes a lot of courage to make fun of other people.
There's a lot of stuff on TV, but not all of it's good. In fact, a lot of it's bad TV.
Hi. Sup? It's bad TV. What do we do on this show, Pat? I'm Dylan. What do we do on this show, Pat?
We try and make people laugh.
More specifically, though.
Recap one of the saddest shows on the planet.
That's it. And how do we do it? We do it with a Golden Girl, Empire State Building, pizza pockets, fresh shucked clams on the sidewalk. Who cares about the health code? These Italians are grandfathered in. It's New York City. It's Ruby Wren.
Feels really good to be here.
Yeah. Now, should we talk about the sound real quick?
Maybe turn her up a little bit and pull a little bass
No.
back.
We should let the fans know what was going on. So Kaylin, who is a troglodyte, right?
I don't even know what that word means.
It's
it sounds hurtful.
It's a cave dweller. He broke the board, so we can't hear her that well. And it was an accident.
Accidents happen.
Accidents totally happen. So Ruby sounds a little muffled right now, but that's okay because the content that we're going to embark on recapping this evening is totalitarian art. It's unparalleled in, on any other network right now. There's nothing like this.
No, and I'm just going to make a confession. I generally dread my job. I actually hate what I do for a living. I looked forward to this show.
Yeah.
And watching it. That's how good it is.
Right. Yeah, I wanted to kick to Rubes just because it's like a in threes kind of thing.
Oh, sure. Okay.
But I feel like Ruby, don't speak. I feel like we're already kind of doing passports right now, and I feel like we should probably do PSAs before we do passports. So do you have any?
I do. I want to thank all the new people coming into the Bad TV family. You are officially a little baddie. Share the show. No one recaps before the 90-day like Rubes, Dill, and myself. We make funny. I've listened to a half a dozen podcasts because Dill and I are trying to, and with Ruby, do some crossover so we can get the messaging out there that we're the fucking best.
Manja.
No one wants us on their goddamn show, and the only thing that I can surmise out of that is we're too good. We're too funny. We blow the competition away. Let everyone know that's into this show. Come over to Bad TV because that's where before the 90-day recaps are at.
Well, and also I've talked to Patrick about this, but when you send out correspondence to our peers in the reality TV recap podcast space, what a lovely community that is. Don't say we're coming on your show, bitch. I'm Patrick from Bad TV. You can't write that to people.
You're probably right.
Yeah. All right. So patreon.com, uncensored episodes. We're doing a live meetup with our fans, our $12 tier members. Ruby is going to need to be on that because people want to meet her. We've not talked to her about it. We'll pay you if you need, but you need to meet the fans face to face if that's something you're comfortable with. If it's not, we'll pay you, but we can talk about it later.
Is it in person?
No.
Yeah, New York state of mind. We're going to New York City, and we're going to do some kind of thing where we go to a bar. And let's talk about the episode.
Sure.
How many passports do you give this episode, Ruby? Episode 3 of season 6 of 90 Day Fiancé the Other Way.
What are you talking about? It's before the 90-day, Dylan.
Oh, before
People
the 90
are very,
day.
very specific about this.
My bad.
I think with the introduction of the Catholic woman and the Israeli Catholic man, and we got to go to Vietnam and get very, very sad in Romania. I give it like 88 passports. Not a lot of subtitles, which we like because of the culture, and
We've
so,
got a
yeah,
two disability week next week. That's going to be tough.
Yeah, it is going to be tough. So this week was great. Let's enjoy. 8
Now I say 2 disability week next week, but we all know that everyone we're watching has a mental disorder. They're all mentally ill people. Chief among them, Gino, who tonight was such a beautiful Gino night. Hey, Kaylin, could you turn me up in the cans a little bit?
Could you turn Ruby up a little bit as well?
Ruby's maxed out.
Oh,
I think it's
is?
our cans.
Okay.
I think it's our cans.
Okay. Do you turn my headphones up?
Yeah, can you turn us up in the headphones, please? Just a little bit.
Thank you, Kaylin.
Thank you, Kaylin. Oh, wow. So tonight we find out that Gino is not just into hats. He's more Tobias Fumke than we could have ever imagined. There is a line, and if you're not watching the show, I can't pitch the show any better than this. This is what happens in this show. There's 2 people who are mentally ill, and they're trying to be in a relationship with each other, and they have no idea who each other are, right? And they're in Panama. And the woman says to the man who wears hats all the time, "Are you going to change into your sleeping hat?" And he says yes. And he does go into the bathroom, and he changes into his sleeping hat and proceeds to assume this position of belly down sleeping, which he did, I think, 4 or 5 times this evening. This man, if we did live in a dystopia like utopian future, should probably interface with some kind of public health, robot and say, like, is there a point? Like, do you want to, maybe we come up with some afterworld lie that we tell people, and we say, just, Gino, you're going to I'm getting too dark, but I would not want to be Gino. I'd jump off that fucking balcony if I had a sleeping hat.
You want him in Logan's Run is what you're saying, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, Gino and Jasmine, that's
100 pots.
That's insanity happening there. I just love the mantra that was repeated through the night, which is, I'm not going to do it because we don't have the proper equipment.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not going in there because I don't have the proper equipment.
Yeah.
Disturbing.
Right.
Scary.
So scary.
This man walks among us.
Yeah.
Okay. Amanda finally realizing.
What's creepier? This thing going on in the kitchen where he's repeating like fucking he's in The Shining about a potato peeler? Or did you hear about that Harvard morgue thing that just came out?
Oh, were they selling body parts off?
Yeah.
Great.
I don't know who's more unsettling. Gino or the guy who's charging people on Venmo for head number 7. Really weird stuff.
It is a toss-up.
Yeah.
I will say there is a tie for the insanity. That's Amanda and Razvan. Her finally realizing this might all have been a horrible idea was wonderful television. Right. Riley becoming fast friends with a guy named Tony in what I called the sex traffic lounge.
Can't wait to talk about that.
And a hot news anchor who wants a guy who lives with his mom in Israel, whose only hobby includes sharing the word of God and fishing.
Yeah.
Amazing episode.
Right.
100 passports.
Yeah.
You guys over there at TLC must have fired the head producer and got a new producer because the casting here is
so
amazing.
Good. Even the cast, like even the people who aren't that great, like Riley, just kind of, they're not quite sleeping hat quality, right?
No.
But even Riley is exchanging passion and memory with a fellow fucking creep at a gate at LAX. It's really cool stuff. So we have to get into it.
Before we do, I'm not sure if this is a stylistic choice, but I cannot see your face, Dylan.
Oh,
I don't know if I need.
No.
If I should.
It'd be helpful. And thank you for letting us know that.
Yeah, I should have done it a long time ago. That's great.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't know if this is just what I see, and you made the comment about your double chin earlier, so I don't know. I didn't know if it was
No. I'm just working on it. All right, so let's get into it. Okay. We kick off in a beautiful country. Palaces galore, as well as kind of scary shops with windows with weird masks in them. I don't want to go to Romania. I just want to go to other places. I'd rather go to Paris where they're mean, you know?
I've been to Paris. They're nice there.
Are they?
Mm-hmm.
No.
They're not?
No.
I gave a taxi driver a $20 tip. I thought he was going to blow me. He followed me to the entrance of my hotel room.
Yeah. He probably marked you. Yeah. Your cute little
Not
American
nice.
ass got marked. Yeah. They wanted to sell you into the trade. You know, if you ever see zip ties on the
Dylan, no.
passenger side of... All right. So, we are in none other than Romania with Razvan and Amanda. Now, we wake up with a little coffee and some sexy time with Razvan and Amanda. Now, Razvan is doing too much this morning. He is in white boxer briefs, and not the boxer briefs that are responsible and come down to about, I don't know, quarter thigh, mid thigh even. He's in the ones that are essentially tighty whities, and his big fucking hog is out, and he's doing a dance where he's moving his little Ricky Martin hips, and he's making her very uncomfortable. He's extremely preoccupied with fucking her.
He is, Dylan. It is the morning after their first night together, and they definitely didn't have sex, and he definitely doesn't have a hickey on his neck.
Yeah. He has a big hickey.
Rubes, am I correct, or was that my lying eyes that I believe I was staring at a kissing mark that generally is exchanged between 14-year-olds with bad upbringings?
Correct.
Okay.
Did you say bad upbringing?
Well, yeah.
I had a very affluent
and
upbringing.
you used to get hickeys on your neck.
I got hickeys.
Oh, me too, but I had a bad upbringing.
Yeah, see, that's...
Dylan had hickey one time at I believe it was Thanksgiving or something. I don't know, but our old babysitter was there, and you wore a pink scarf.
Oh, to hide it.
To try to hide it. But maybe I wore the pink scarf so that everybody would notice. I was like, I'm not gay, I promise. Just check under the scarf. It was a girl. Yeah.
So I'm glad we got that cleared up. Amanda says it's kind
I'm
of...
straight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Amanda says it's kind of weird because normally in the mornings it comprises the kids jumping on the bed and watch cartoons together. And on this morning, she's being woken up by a hairless Romanian porn star with a hickey on his neck.
Right.
We learned that she sleeps with her socks on. Big pet peeve for old Patty.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I find it to be a very romantic thing when I tuck in. I'm like, yummy warm. Let's catch some Z's yummy warm. And then, God knows, witching hour, half hour later, they come off in a fury. And I can't get them off because the big toe's not agile enough because it's in a sock. It's always a kind of a panic. Ribs, what's your... what?
Socks are important.
Yeah.
They should be worn quite literally at all times. And I wear them when I sleep.
Yeah. You're not gonna wear those when I'm fucking you, right? Because that would really throw me off.
A big pet peeve with porn. If I watch porn and the dude's wearing sneakers, I click out of there.
Yeah.
It takes me out of the... I understand a male wants leverage for certain shots, but sir, not my thing.
Ribs?
Does he put them on? So he's completely naked and then he puts his shoes back on.
Yeah.
He doesn't. Well, normally I don't know how the pants get removed. Maybe he's wearing some shorts, but anyway, the socks are still on too.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
Well, I mean, you pay a lot of money for these shoes. These shoes are not cheap. You know, these LeBrons, what do you see? Neymar shoe shop, and the guy spends like $30,000. I'd keep those on too.
Show them off. All right.
So he gives her a little bit of a break because he's very pressing. There's a forward press on the young lady right now. Mm-hmm. And he heads back into, he goes to shower and then heads back into the living room, AKA where he shoots his jackmeoff.com webcam videos because there's so much cheap Amazon lighting in the living room. And that's where it's
where he creates the gold that goes on TikTok to make him $2,000 a month.
Yeah, he's like, Shannon, I can't rubber band my balls tonight. I did that, 3 nights ago. I thought they were going to.
Now, I have a different theory, Dylan. Ruby, let's see what your take is on this. I believe they did, in fact, have sex the night before.
Oh, Patrick, you don't need to get tinfoily about everything, okay?
Oh, okay. All right. I don't think someone stops at a hickey.
I think so. I think people stop at hickeys.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. I could see them actually having sex because that would contribute to her. Mm-hmm. She was similarly with Gino and the I don't have the equipment. She was realizing everything she had done was not okay.
Yeah.
In those moments, then realizing her children also weren't okay, and she was in Romania.
Yeah.
So it
great
wasn't
take,
good
Ruby. They probably did have sex. That's a great take, Rubes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe. And if not, all those things they're still true for her. So,
well, I love how he already thought that he was her first or was going to be her first guy after Jason. And she threw him a look like, are you fucking kidding me?
Wait, say that again. I zoned out.
He was like, I just respect that I'm honored that I will be the first man that you bed with after, of course, losing your husband. And she threw him a look like, oh, no, I fucked a bartender.
Oh, is that real?
The look that she gave him was kind of like, Ruby, you tell me.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
And no one would judge you for it, Amanda. We judge you because you left your children for 3 weeks. That's why we're judging you.
Fuck those kids.
That and also, yeah, the children from the temper tantrum was like, you're, and again, come for me. I don't have kids. You're a bad mom. For these 3 weeks, you're being a bad mom, so go fuck the bartender. You'll be a good mom. There are easier ways to it.
Well, should we jump to them on their first day out?
Yeah, so we head out, we hop, skip, and a jump to Old Town, and she is a little off because it would seem as though Razvan, and Amanda had a chat with her son, who is in a very, very little tornado of emotion himself. And what he lands upon, he's already landed upon kind of protective threats at too early an age.
No, that is right around the time. I remember my mom was dating a couple douchebags. I was like 6 or 7. I'm like, who's this guy Steve sleeping in mommy's bed? And I hated him.
Yeah.
Like Amanda.
Well, sad.
Amanda, there's gonna be some therapy sessions with these kids later on, and they aren't gonna like this.
Well, there's also he's stumbled upon these protective threats that he does. Where's the bed? What's going on? Kind of like a meatball big Italian father, but a 4-year-old,
Yeah.
But he also stumbles upon a very, very effective tactic, that being the guilt trip.
Ah, yes.
And again, it's far too early for children to uncover these mental instruments of warfare. He should just be kind of, scratching his ass and smelling it right now.
Well, Dylan, funny you should mention that. I can only give my thoughts on this based on my experiences. First grade, we're doing an exercise in class where we're going to make our dad our Father's Day card.
Okay.
I told the teacher I don't have a dad.
Okay.
I watched her.
And cut your Ruby and cut your Ruby.
I watched the teacher visibly weep, and I realized, oh, this is a device. I did. I clearly remember that. They called my mother. It was a whole big thing. And I'm like, oh, okay.
And that is why you have a daughter, sir. It is. And I love it for you because you love her. And she will meet people who will try to manipulate her the way that you did to so many women. And she will say, no, not me.
Yeah.
It's true.
Fuck you, Pat.
It's true.
Yeah, fuck you, Pat.
Okay. All right. So she is not doing well, and she asks Razvan if we should mention the child says my daddy
died.
And that's the first time he said that. And she's thousands of miles away hearing her child verbally say that he acknowledges that his father has died.
Now, this is sick of me to say, but this was my favorite part of the show because that's when Amanda turns to Razvan and says, I think I'm going to go home early. I think this was a bad idea, to which Razvan answered and responded, and I quote, I think the kids are fine.
And he also goes, I'd be very upset if you left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's pretty good on his feet. Like, he's got a lot of bullshit there, but I got to tell you, he did a few moments here tonight. He was not ready for it emotionally to be able to handle and navigate through these very complex emotions of Amanda.
Yeah.
He said a lot of
As a
stupid
26
shit is what I'm saying.
Which is appropriate for a 26-year-old Romanian porn star who makes videos in his living room. You know?
I completely forgot that he was 26 years old.
And she's 31.
So yeah, you're kind of whoa.
I mean, is he?
Yeah. So this there's this strange thing where she is on a mission to find a man. Now, I understand, and it's very tough to cast judgment on her because she's so uncertain. Like when they're at that beautiful rooftop bar.
Are we there yet?
Well, we're gonna swirl around this entire thing. They do the creepy dance. He's like, "Hey, look at that! Do you see that horrifying mask in the window there? That's what we wear when we dance."
He's also
she's like, I still want to leave.
He's also thinking, normally this works.
Right. But when they're up at that beautiful rooftop bar and he says, "I'm going to come to America."
Oh.
She has this
Visceral?
Gino-like panic attack where she's like, "Where's my sleeping hat? I can't sleep without my sleeping hat." And one could ask and wonder, how could you possibly sleep with the sleeping hat? But that's the kind of opaqueness. We just can't understand mental illness.
No, we can't. Let's unpack this a little bit more deeper, because what prompted that was, again, I think this is a move, because guys have moves, Rubes. All right. We have little structures that we create that work over and over again. And then we add to the structures like, okay, women like to eat and have me pay for it. Okay, I'm going to do that. Check. That worked. Great. Women love comedy. Go to a comedy store. And they
and think about the trial and error that we go through.
Yes.
First, we have to find out that women like to eat. and that's difficult, you know?
I didn't know.
You know?
I didn't know that's what a date needed to be comprised
And then
of.
you don't pay for it. And you're like, whoa, something wrong is going there. I thought you just wanted to eat.
Well, you won't. I packed the sandwich. You don't want a packed sandwich? No? You want to go home early?
Oh. Okay. So
Ruby is visibly disgusted by everything that's coming out of my mouth.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
so a rooftop bar, nice rooftop bar.
What prompted this is his little manipulation tool is handing her a key to his apartment.
Yeah, that's right.
Which she declines having.
I love that move.
And that's when I think he, just out of eagerness or way overstepping boundaries, he should have held this back till like the last day she's there, and she's may have come around to being into them. Maybe they've gotten intimate multiple times. The little bio stuff starts happening with how it connects people sexually. Pheromones start popping out.
Oh, yeah.
Instead, he's just out of all right, that didn't fucking work. Hey, I want to come to America.
Right.
And by the way, I filed for a K-1 visa. And she's like, holy shit.
Yeah. And remember, the child's just said, "Hey, remember how Dad died 2 weeks ago?" And she's like, "You're 3. How's this happening?" But she professes to be on a mission to find a man for her children. And there's a strange thing where I do understand the role of a solid male figure in a child's life, Romanian 26-year-old porn star. But this drive to go find a man to fix the trauma and the pain of the family it's hard to judge her or do anything but it seems so fucked up and wrong to me. Rubes.
Well, what isn't fucked up or wrong is that this man isn't the man. So whether or not she feels the need to fill that void, that's not for us to say.
Mm-hmm.
What we can say so confidently is that Razvan, not the one.
Why do you say that? Why do you say that?
Well, he's clearly said that he just wants to be a friend to the kids.
Yeah. So
Yes.
I don't think he gets what it means.
I don't understand why Razvan's not a good pick. I don't get it.
Okay, let me talk a little. His underwear is too small.
Yeah, it is too small.
I kind of feel bad for him, but he also when he's saying I'm going to move to America, and she's like, no, And he's like, well, I'll wait till right after you leave. And then she says, she can't even keep it inside. She just utters like, no, it's just not realistic. And it's so sad.
And then the camera cuts away, but she stabs his hand with a butter knife.
And then runs out of the restaurant to the airport. Her actual response that she said to him, she said, I don't know about that. I got to put my kids first, to which I say, too late.
Okay, well, should we meet a new character?
Are we done that?
Yeah.
Is that how that ended?
Yeah, that's how
because that was
ended.
uncomfortable.
Oh, very, very.
We should take bets if she does the full 3 weeks. I don't think she does.
Well, the important thing is to set an enticing line is what we need to do. And I think an enticing and realistic line would be 4 days. Is she going to make it 4 days in Romania? I would say no.
No. She gets one.
I think she will make it 1 week.
Yeah.
1 week. I can't tie. I guess it's not like the price is right. I got to go 8 days.
8 days. Wow. Proud bet. Proud bet. Good bet. All right, let's meet a new character who probably doesn't gamble the way that we just did, because gambling is a sin.
Oh, dear God.
Oh, my Jesus. I do not like this woman. Her name is Misha. She is the director of pastoral care, and she is a former news anchor, as in like on OAN last year. I cannot imagine having this woman who is so prayer breakfasty being the spiritual guide of your latter years.
Okay.
It would just, it seems so, in a show with so many things that make your skin feel like it's going to run away from your body. This made me so sad.
Okay, so it's not just later years, it's the final days. So she is the person that deals with you as you are slowly on your way out, which is kind of the same thing that you said.
She is, who is the carny from Real Housewives of Dallas?
Leanne.
She's got,
Leanne.
yeah, these fembot, you know, prayer breakfast kind of people who pray with all of themselves, even though they just found God last year.
Can I say this? Well, two things on Misha. Okay, first off, she's hot as hell. Second,
She's very beautiful.
Okay, all right. So current job or past job, as you pointed out, news anchor. Current job, working with people as they pass on, and she's a Jesus freak.
Yeah,
that is quite a occupational jump,
and quite an archetype of 2023 America.
Oh yeah. Hey, what do you do for work? Kindergarten teacher. Oh, what'd you used to? Hitman for the mob. It's that spectacular, that chasm.
Yeah, I guess.
And by the way, no judgment. Old Patty here goes to church every Sunday, but there's such a thing as being too religious.
Well, Patrick goes to church, Ruby, and sits in the pews and critiques in his own mind the sermon.
The writing structure of the sermon.
Yeah, Pat is not gaining anything spiritually from it, I don't think, at least.
I'm learning how to be a better writer. I see all the...
Okay.
All right, but what I was gonna say is, it's there's religious, being a little too religious, and you can be a little too atheisty too. You know?
Sure,
you're sacrificing gophers and whatnot. Like everyone goes a little too
what did you
far.
say?
What?
Huh?
No, I don't think
What
that's
are
what
you
atheists.
talking about? That's not what atheists do, though. You want to talk about animal sacrifice? Probably the goddamn Jews over there in fucking Jerusalem sawing goats in half. What the fuck?
They did it. They wrote it in the book that they found in the desert. Didn't they do that all the time?
Oh, yeah, they did it all the time. And, you know, they're like, oh, you know, it's important because it displays to God that they are not attached to the material possessions of a world that is much smaller than he. And I'm like, well, why don't you go saw a fucking goat in half and see how close to God it gets you? My God, it's so weird. Such funky stuff. But we're ignorant.
Yeah.
We've all been there. How many times have we been there?
Been there all the time. Lots of times.
We have been there so many times you can't even count.
Yeah.
You break your leg.
Mm-hmm.
It hurts. But once the pain subsides, you know what hurts even more?
Where am I going to get the money to fix it?
Where am I going to get the money to fix it? You know where you could?
Dave?
Dave is the banking app that could help you get up to $500 instantly with extra cash. With Dave, there's no interest, late fees, or credit check. That's more money to fill your tank financially. You're just gonna your tank is not going to be filled with gas. I mean, it is going to be filled with gas, but you're also going to be filled financially with purpose. And that's more money to fill your tank and finally get your car repaired or catch up on bills without having to wait for your next paycheck. You can finally tackle those expenses that have been stressing you out. Millions of people have already downloaded the Dave app to get the financial relief they need with extra cash. Download the Dave app from the App Store right now or go to dave.com/bachelor. That's dave.com/bachelor. Sign up for an extra cash account to get up to $500 instantly. For terms and conditions, go to dave.com/legal. Instant transfer fees apply. Banking services provided by Evolve Bank and Trust, member FDIC. Our next partner has a product that I use literally every day. I started taking AG1 because... Why, Patrick?
You wanted to optimize your day. You want to be, get the most out of yourself.
I wanted to be a mule of a man, a pack mule, strong, big, strong man, both internally and out. You have to take care of your gut biome. You have to take care of your ticking clock. Why do I consume it? Because of all those reasons. But the better question is how. I have a cold glass of water in the morning and I throw a little scoop in there. It's the best. AG1 is a small micro habit with big benefits. It's one thing you can do every single day to take great care of yourself. It's cheaper than getting all the different supplements yourself. And
you can fill a room with most weirdos that put a bunch of vitamins there. This thing, one packet, everything done.
That's it. It's trusted by the leading health experts in the world, such as Tim Ferriss and Michael Gervais. Listen right now. Listen. If you want to get this stuff, you go to drinkag1.com/belowdeck. Again, that is drinkag1/belowdeck. Get healthy. Go to drinkag1.com/belowdeck.
Yeah.
Anyway, she lets us know why she changed careers. A coconut fell on her fucking head.
Well, she was struck by a vision. Rubes, what was the vision?
She was vacuuming and she thought she was having a heart attack and she saw two Orby suns or something. I don't know. It sounded like something that her dad would say. But but the thing that I love the most is that she said she's then called to the Bible. So she just read it cover to cover.
Yeah.
She just read the Bible.
Right.
I was going to ask Patrick as the religious expert and Black culture expert, is that normal? Do people read the Bible like a book?
I have never gotten by 5 consecutive pages in a row in one sitting where I'm like, I'm starting to fall asleep. Maybe I'll pick this up back tomorrow, and then I put it away for 3 years.
You're reading through Leviticus page after page of how the tabernacle must be set to these dimensions, and you're like, gosh, this is a fucking page turner. What is going on? It's like a goddamn Don Winslow book. All right, so
anyways,
hey, spirituality is a very, very important part of living on this planet. Like we said, the certainties are where we draw lines. You can't say there is nothing, and you can't say this is my nothing, I'm going to kill you if you don't abide by it. You can't do either of those things. So she got with an international when she was younger, a Swedish fella. She had a couple of oddly named children with him. We'll get there later. Svea? What's your name?
Svea.
Is your name Svea?
Svea.
And they got divorced. She turned into a bit of a party animal after they got divorced. If the Real Wives of the Great Lakes were casting, she would have been on the show. She would 100% be on the show.
Do you want to try it one more time?
No, I think it's clear that she met Nikola next in her life. Now, Nikola is a
loser.
He's a gremlin who's living in Galilee.
Or his mother's house, who has a hearing problem.
Yeah. Mom, did you make the fish? Huh? Where did you put the fish that I caught? Fuck! He's like, oh my God. So scary.
You know what I love about Nicola? Nicola! Is even his friend thinks he's a loser.
Yeah. No.
It's out of your league, buddy.
All right. So he lives with his hard of hearing mother, and he is a Catholic amidst a city of Jews. Very proud Jews. What? He's a Catholic.
Yeah.
Around
There's
all
only
those Jews.
the makeup is only 2% Catholic.
And he is a Catholic because his grandmother was a Nazarene nun. I mean, the holiness surrounding this man is really quite palpable. And for somebody who is in a downward spiral of personal identity, seeing this man who is this connected to the power nodes of the holy, the scripture, I understand why she's all over Nicola.
Yeah.
Because he sucks, but I mean, he is he's one of the chosen people. So, Rubes, do you think Nicola's hot?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Nicola!
Did you guys see the Kraven trailer? My wife is a big Aaron Taylor Johnson fan.
No.
Did you see the Kraven trailer?
No.
Oh my God, the abs on that guy. Absolutely unbelievable.
Kraven.
Yeah, Kraven. He's the lion.
Uh-huh.
He's trying to hunt a lion, and the lion's blood gets in his blood, and he turns into a goddamn human lion. And it's kind of
live action.
Yeah. And he doesn't look like a lion. He just like rips people's throats out like a lion with his teeth.
Oh, I could be into this.
Yeah, it's really cool. And he's an enemy of Spider-Man. He's in the Spider-Man universe. And there's a scene where the guy walks in. He's like, "Where's Tezzeret?" And he goes, "You're standing on him." And he looks down. There's all this blood, and then he shoots him with a bow and arrow, and he flies back against the wall. Man, does it look like a good flick? But it's nowhere near as good as our next sponsor. All right, so let's move on to her family. No. Sorry. He runs a little bit more on Nicola. He runs a traditional prayer website. Evidently, there are these antiquated prayers that Catholics have kind of slipped away from, and he is the digital resource for them. 500,000 unique visitors a month. He's doing well.
I honestly think what I'm feeling right now is what Amanda and Gino felt. It's just not hitting me how horrifying it is that this is this man's life, and honestly dangerous that he's so obsessed with whatever this is. It's weird, and he didn't like that she called her cat her baby.
Okay, so I'm really excited to get there, but I disagree. I don't know what is odd about a sunken-eyed 60-year-old virgin who is spiritually committed. I think you're being kind of a bitch right now.
I think she's saying he's a little too committed to the point where it's terrifying to normal people.
Yeah, I disagree. So he hit her up, and he said to her, "This is the most important message of your life." The kind of moxie, there's the opposite of diminishing returns, right? Let's flip the graph upside down. You're a virgin your entire life. There's a lot of the bell curve that is in Hades, right? Because you're a pariah, you're a loser, but then you get on this upswing. The semen has stayed in there, and it's turned into some kind of fucking nuclear waste cartoon evil monster.
It's like that Venom thing, man.
Yeah, exactly. He's overconfident, and he knows that he is a catch. So he's sending women messages saying, "I am the most important thing that's ever happened in your life."
You know what? I'd love to see his Google porn searches. I want to see what this freak's into.
Yeah.
Because everyone has something. Nobody's perfect. Except for the guy who...
Ruby. He's far from perfect. No one thinks he's perfect.
I think he is. Why do you not like Nicola so much? Pat, hit it.
Nicola!
That's the main reason. I think I just associate it with those little lozenges and illness. No, I think he's mean to his mom. He doesn't think cats are babies, and he is weird. I don't like his website.
Okay, so
Annie insists on her being a virgin, which
Yeah.
I think is impossible after she's passed 2 children through her.
well, never say never. The family are not supportive of Jesus boy Nicola.
Especially her sister Taylor. Also a looker. What are they having the water up there in Minnesota?
I think I know.
Right.
Very sharp scalpels. You get it?
Yeah, but like they look, their work is very good.
It's
like,
great.
We live in and
It's
people do not look like that.
No. My God. It looks like some people look like they've been experimented on with new kinds of venom. It's like
They look like the two of them, actually, mainly Misha. She looks like the picture that women use when they're like 63 on dating profiles. But she is just that hot,
Right.
and it's just, I hope to the God she prays to that something happens that just blows this whole thing up, and then she moves home, dates a normal fucking dude from Minnesota, and then that's that.
Yeah. And I think that's what will happen because let's go to the Zoom call real quick. We can get back to the fishing thing with his buddy, but I do.
Well, we also had the lunch meetup. Did we want to pass by?
No. We don't want to pass by that. They lay out some visa thing. They're obviously going to have 48 hours to figure out whether they're going to spend their lives together.
And as you mentioned, the family's not into it. Taylor, her sister's definitely not. Taylor thinks this is as weird as we all do. Misha is concerned about his lack of relationship experience.
Yeah.
And then Taylor raises quite a few concerns, but then the mantra of this whole thing Dylan has referred to as a disease is uttered. Misha says, and I quote, "I just have to follow my heart." It's something that's been said so many times. It always ends so badly.
Yeah, what is in these people's hearts is a parasitic thing. It's malicious. It's trying to harm them. So let's fish on the holy waters or in the holy waters of the Promised Land. Nicola and his buddy Wasim, his rosary warrior, sit down after a couple fishies, and they talk about how he's never had sex with anybody. Mish, did you say Winsep? Did you say Wasim thinks he's a loser?
Well, yeah, he apparently took some truth serum too before filming because he lets him know this isn't gonna work because his buddy is an unemployed, goofy-looking Jesus freak, and she's fucking hot. He said a little nicer.
Yeah, it is funny though. The website that gets so much traffic, that's his job.
Oh, that's his job?
I mean, what else does he do?
He yells at his mom, but she can't hear it.
Well, to be fair, Ruby, she can't fucking hear, okay? I feel like you're being unduly hard on him, but let's talk about his greatest crime. The telephone chat, wherein she brings up her baby, her cat. He's disgusted by it. He's absolutely disgusted by it. And he says, in an I'm not fucking kidding kind of voice, I'm going to skin that thing when I move back to Minnesota. Essentially, he says, dude, that thing is not fucking sleeping with us at all. And he strikes me as the kind of guy who would really, in a kind of scary way, mean it the first night they slept together and that cat jumped on the bed.
I said I don't like cats. So you killed my cat? Nicola! Hey, couple other things, because this is really important. He's kind of a control freak. Maybe that's why Rubes is also picking up on why this guy's a dick. Upon knowing that she has 2 children, he's really pissed that she's not a virgin because he needs a virgin because his old mother, who has a hearing problem, insists upon him marrying a virgin.
Yeah.
But thank God for the often confusing rules of the great book. Turns out if you find God, you can become a virgin after 43, even if you've had 2 children pass through your loins.
Yeah, I mean, a theme throughout the good book is a kind of defying of our conventions of reality, be they biological or otherwise. Rubes, what's going on with the cat, and what would happen if this was happening to you? What do you think about Nicola?
There is literally, first of all, My greatest concern with her is that she just blows over it, because she doesn't strike me as the type of person who thinks of her cat as anything other than her child. And so I don't know what's going on there. I think that anyone who, when you start to like date people and they're like, so does your dog sleep in the bed with you? You immediately should say, get out. Wherever you are.
Yeah.
If you're in public, it doesn't matter. Get out. Because for you to assume that what do you deserve it more?
Yeah.
Why? Tell me what,
Right.
You don't.
Yeah.
And I hate you. So he's done for me. I hope that he dies a virgin.
Oh.
Yeah. That's all.
Ruby's an animal lover. And there is
Aren't
this thing there. Well, no, we're not. Because there are people who have the kind of relationships with their animals that that cat has been with her through her transformation. That cat has provided her with unconditional, judgmentless love as she goes from married to a Swede to party girl to news anchor to preacher.
To that fucking coconut hitting her on the head.
That coconut hit her on the head. The cat was there the entire time, pawing, licking, providing unconditional love. Nicola comes in with his goddamn Gollum looks and says, the cat needs to go. I'm here now. Nicola, fuck off.
Get out.
Okay. So we have to move on to.
Is that the last of them?
Yeah, we hear that the two girls named Svea and Makinta, or what
Nope.
what is
Moria?
it? Maria and Svea.
Yep.
Beautiful names.
Oh, yes.
And I mean that, but that's not what people are called here. And I'm not saying that people have to, adhere to our norms or anything, but definitely not white people.
Yeah. You should name them like Sarah.
Right. Good Jewish name. All right.
Yeah.
So we have to get to a man called Tyree, also known as the saddest.
Yes. And by the way, it's to be noted. So we got a new couple, obviously, with Misha and Nicola. And then next week, there's another new couple being introduced. Which what I'm hoping is that we are slowly transitioning Tyree and his very, 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 very sad journey out of the show.
Well, I hate to break it to you, Pat, because as we've mentioned before, the timelines on this show get very Nolan-y, right? Tom Hardy's in the sky for 2 hours. Everybody else is on the beach for a week or whatever.
Yes.
Tyree makes it to the host nation of this criminality. Now, that trip, even just a day's worth of that adventure, could be, dare I say, 3-4 episodes.
Him on the plane, him at the airport, him at the hotel, waiting there for an entire episode at a lonely picnic table in the middle of nowhere.
Yep.
You're right.
Yeah. So we're going to need to just buckle up and get comfy with Tyree, put our socks on and have our head hit the pillow, because Tyree's going to be around for a while. His sister and he sit down. And
well, I was going to say, paint a picture of where we are. We're in that same park where he used to play that beautiful music with his ukulele. As
my God.
Passerbyers, I believe, quietly said to themselves, I hope he's not going to hurt us.
Yeah.
But now there is no music. Now there's just a picnic table with him and Lashanti. And
Yep. And those people, they said, I hope he's not going to hurt us. And the person they were walking with said, oh, God, honey, he could never catch us. Yeah.
Don't do it.
Rubes, what's been the saddest part of Tyree? Him believing that he's fallen in love with a man who's trying to rob him, or the raps he was singing in the public park? Red shirt, flannel.
The latter could be felt bad for. Like, if you saw that in the park, you honestly would probably be like, oh, that's good. He probably had something seriously wrong with him.
Right.
This is just like, I thought to myself as a sister when she's sitting there and she's trying to gently guide him in the right direction, which is that you were scammed by a man who stole money from you.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Right.
And he didn't love you, and he wasn't a hot girl, and he's like, well, but maybe there's just like a, so she hasn't unblocked me on Snapchat yet. And his sister is just like, but wait, okay. So you think that this person loves you? And then the producer's like, read the message. And he's like, I was like, I don't know what you do. So
okay.
yeah, you're right.
Well, okay. So the sister, you go.
I had a thought. Okay. So one of the producers, Patrick, great name, by the way. Patrick.
What do you like about it?
It's a strong Irish name.
Yep.
And he's a great producer because he's always ready to just keep the momentum of a scene going.
Yeah.
He's got that audio tape. He's got a phone with the text messages there.
You know what else is great about the name Patrick?
What's that?
You can buy a Puma hat, and it just says P on it, right? And it stands for Puma, but it could mean Patrick.
That's right. That's why I bought it. So this is what I would do if I was Patrick, and I would have to convince the brass at 90 Day Fiancé to go along with this.
Yeah.
All right. Knowing that Carmela is in fact a guy named Christian who I believe lives in Barbados, I would have said, all right, let's try a different spin on this. All right. And just follow me here. What we do is we hire an actress or possibly a former porn star, looks close to Carmela. We have them meet.
It could look completely different from Carmela.
But just say I send some pictures, I put on a little weight, whatever. They have the hottest night ever, the greatest date ever. We cover it with a full episode, right? They have sex. He's in love. She says, my love, I got to go back to the hotel. She goes back to the hotel. Next day, Tyree's ready to do the scene. Patrick breaks the hard news. She was run over by a car and died.
Oh, yeah. That could be good because she could wake up and say, like, I had such a great night with you. It was like having sex. And then she dies the next day.
No.
And then his heart forever knew what true love was. He doesn't lose trust in humanity. He had a great night, a good fun roll in the hay.
Yeah.
And now she's dead and he can move on and find love in the future. Instead, his heart's broken, his self-esteem is diminished. He lives with his mother. It's only going to get worse from here.
Yeah.
If you guys are hiring, old Patty I'll put my resume in because it's ideas like this that are solid gold.
And Kaylin, let's go ahead and flag that real quick. Let's go back and let's bleep the. We'll have to bleep that too. I'm very sorry, but let's bleep that joke.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was some of your best work.
Yeah. Too much?
Yeah.
Well, you got to be brave out here.
Mm-hmm.
You do.
Takes a lot of courage to make fun of other people. So, let's get this sister is an MI6 kind of spy. Yeah. So she is like, let's pop the image in and let's reverse track it on Google. I was like, I didn't know that you could do that. Turns out you can't. She might be a fraud. But they
do it on Catfish all the time.
So you put the image in, and then you find the origin of the image.
Yeah, you can trace it, and it will actually say the date it was taken, where it is, where it actually comes from. Only because I'm a fan of Catfish, it can be done. Yeah, right, Rubes?
Yeah, This is true.
But
I thought you were mocking her. This is common knowledge among the kids.
Oh no! I wasn't mocking her. I thought she was a secret agent for a second there. So anyways, they pop that picture in and she fails to do the online redirect. And this gives the saddest hope that Carmela is not a male criminal, but possibly the love of his life. Now, it's when he has this hope, because you can't kill a man if he doesn't have hope. This is when the producer steps in and goes, hey, just to clear the air, because I know that whole spy thing didn't work out.
Here's your $2.
Here is a message from Carmela. The message states, in so many words, I am in fact a man. I am in fact robbing Tyree. I do love Tyree, but I am a man and I am robbing Tyree. And Tyree's response to this is, having someone say they love you is not nothing.
Yeah, you'd never guess the only part that he actually grabbed onto. I think even if they said, I thought about killing him, No, seriously, I was going to murder him for his money, but I thought otherwise. But I love him, Tyree would say.
Right.
Did you hear? He said he loved me.
Yeah.
So sad. Loneliness, a powerful emotion.
Yeah. So these kinds of people, I don't know if you've seen this clip, but Louis C.K., who is kind of the weirdo, was being shown a Your Mom's House classic clip of a guy posting on the internet that his doors were open to any and all men who wanted to fucking shit on him, piss on him. You know, they could live there. He just wants to get off. And Louis, he gives the address of the apartment. And Louis, being from New York, knows where it is. And it's in a horrific part of the city. Ruby knows. Papaya Dog, Ruby knows. And he starts to cry because he thinks about just how sad that life is. You are so lonely that you are putting out on the internet your countenance completely unconcerned with any embarrassment. You're just trying to get a buddy. And if it's a buddy who wants to fucking punch you in the face and piss on you, that's fine. You're just that lonely. Tyree could possibly be on his way there.
Well, I'll be happy for him. Hey, big guy. If you're down to be with a
don't
dude-
call him big guy.
I call everybody
Patrick,
a big guy.
That's disgusting.
It's a term of affection for a nice person.
Only skinny people, not fat. Can't say that to fat people.
I do want to say, Dylan, I never saw that episode of that, but famously, we attempted a bit on another podcast show where I went on Craigslist, what is it, like something encounters.
Oh, yeah.
And I posted, hey, Patty here, down to fuck. I'll fuck anything. I'll do anything, anytime.
Right.
And I got a couple respondents like from San Diego, and they're like, where are you at? And I'm like, Los Angeles. Is like, it's too far a drive.
Right.
I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Standards.
Right. Yeah. That guy reached out to Pat. He's like, can we electrocute you in some phallic way? And Pat was like, yeah. And he's like, where are you? That's too far of a drive. And we're like, can you imagine finding a star-aligning kind of human being and not making that drive? It's a fun drive. You put on a podcast. Ruth, what's going on? Have you any thoughts about what we've been saying?
I am so concerned that you guys are speaking to anyone in that manner. I don't like that communication, and I think Tyree is going to start doing that very soon.
All right, so let's move
Concise
on
and apt.
to the great story of the night, Jasmine and Tobias. He is a gay guy, right?
He was pretty sexed up their first season.
Was he?
He was accepting a lot of fellatio, and he has had past girlfriends from South America. This is a thing.
Okay, but why is he a sexual hermit crab, anxiety-ridden hermit crab with sleeping hat when she comes on to him?
Ruby, you have any theories?
I think because in this instance, like Pat said, like before in their first season, they were kind of like going to hotels and stuff that he was, in control of. This is the apartment she convinced him to give her the money for. And I think it's all hitting him now that if she ever moves back to Michigan and sees that he lives in that sad, sad place, she will leave him.
Yeah.
She will take all of his money. He's wasted the last 2 years of his life, and he doesn't know what to do other than lay face down in his sleeping hat, which we should point out is a baseball cap.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it's not a beanie. It has a brim.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. Yeah, no, that's probably what's going on. Like he has the anxiety of somebody who is either closeted or about to be caught. Because he is repulsed by her. Now we find out what $3,000 will get you in Panama. Unbelievable. Truly unbelievable.
She points that out.
But that's when he says, I'm a little bit worried. And we flash back to his dilapidated kind of...
Dump. It's strewn with box wine in a hallway and a room with bunk beds.
Yeah. Why those?
He's 53.
Yeah. So scary. Why those? But she goes, let's test out the bed. And he goes, I'm not sure why I would test the bed out. It's quite sunny out. I don't need to rest right now. I don't even have my sleeping hat on. And she says, go test out the fucking bed. And he concedes. And she begins to rub his disgusting international travel feed. That made me, I mean, I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine what those things smell like. Who allows someone to touch their feet after they've spent 27 hours traveling? I mean, it's just crazy. Manja.
Manja does that too. After getting on the bed with his fucking international travel shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much Guy Fieri donkey sauce is on those Air Force Ones and they're now on the bed? I mean, it's just fucking disgusting.
Well, he denies her of sex and then lays on his tummy. And then I guess we cut back to them a little later, and Coco, who's her sister and the woman who will eventually end Gino's life, wake him from his slumber.
Coco is the dog.
Oh, it's Coco.
Liz is a human.
Sorry. Yeah. Well, Gino, anyway, whoever the dog is, don't sign anything, Gino. She will have you murdered. And I'm saying this as a person who doesn't like you. I had a thought. As the goons Jasmine hired to bludgeon him, Gino, to death, he only doesn't make it because they're beating him, you know?
Yeah.
And he's too concerned with his hat staying on his head.
Yeah.
So it's easy to kill him because his vital organs aren't protected. He's like,
so he does die?
Don't fucking stab him.
Yeah.
And they're bludgeoning him to death.
But he does die?
In this scenario, he does die.
Oh, wow.
Did she get the money?
Well, she forged his signature in the will. I mean, it's not going to hold up in court, but it will be a number of years before she realizes her fate of murdering him wasn't worth it.
But does she get any money?
No.
Does she get caught?
Well, yeah, she gets caught because she forged his signature. Because even in Panama, there's still laws, Dylan. You have to have a person as a witness of the signature, and also one of those people that does that notary.
Who catches her?
I think it's the FBI because it's
the FBI.
Well, it's a different country. You know, this isn't a state thing.
Can't go there.
Yeah, that's a domestic bureau, Patrick.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it is CIA.
The CIA catches her. Okay.
Anyway, it's real sad because some guys.
We got a hot case at Langley. We got a dead guy who won't take off his hat. How many people can we get on this thing?
And then can you imagine some of the detectives are like, he didn't protect himself at all?
No. The detectives are like, listen, we've got a counterinsurgency we're trying to foment right now. I don't think I can pull too many bodies off that. And and then somebody else is like, yeah, we've got another pretty big international fruit business that is going to give us inroads into a lot of third world nations. And they're like, no, we have to figure out who killed this guy. He won't take off his hat. He's a freak. Okay, sorry.
Total freak.
Dead bit. So, we get to this cooking thing. Rubes, are you okay?
I kind of wish I did have kids because I feel like this was watching something when you're like, this breakdown is not about this peeler, is it? You know?
No, it is not. So she throws herself at him quite a bit throughout their little journey here. And this is the Nolan one day. This is 3 hours worth of stuff, but it's the entire episode. Now, she says, I had no wedding, bro. Do you want to touch? And that was so good. Rubes, can you do her? Can you do her real quick?
Yeah. No.
Okay. So,
this is mountain. You know, why? Thank you for the help. I know how to run. Puppy, do you want me? Why are you asking me that?
Look at these mountains. So she's like, touch my boobs, and he's like, so they go to make a meal, and there's clearly this thing going on where Gino has a mental disability, right? Because he is her bitch, and he doesn't like that he's her bitch. So he is going to voice that by saying, I'm not going to cook without the proper equipment. I'm just not going to do it. Now,
Jasmine, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to cook without the proper equipment.
What he means to say is, I feel like you're being overwhelming right now. I feel like you boss me around a lot, and I don't appreciate that. I resent you for it.
He does do that. I have to say, this scene with her insisting that he cut the beats was, in my estimation, possibly a Tarantino movie scene. Let me read it.
Yeah.
All right, here's the breakdown.
Mouth it beats.
There's a 10-minute scene with lots of dialogue breaking down why peeling a beet with a knife is actually the proper way of doing things.
100%.
And then Jasmine will share a long history of peeling beets that way, right?
Her grandmother,
And then Coco will eat Gino's face off. Cue Zoot Riot.
Yeah. And Coco's nipping at him throughout the scene. Yes. Like Hitchcockian tension, you know? And then he bites him in the leg and rips his fucking artery out. And then there's blood everywhere. And then Zoot Riot plays.
Zoot Riot.
Right. Who's saying that?
Who's saying
Cherry Poppin' Daddy?
Yeah,
No big deal.
Zoot Riot. What a horrible time for music in 1997.
I wrote a fake advertisement about a Ken Burns documentary on the making of Zoot Riot. But anyways, we got to move on.
Well, Gino takes a hard stance. No cutting board, no proper equipment, no peeling.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go in the bedroom, Jasmine.
This is like, he has this AI meltdown, and he goes, my favorite, the little twist on the mantra, he goes, I don't hurry without the proper equipment.
I like how he's trying to take his power back.
Yeah.
That was it. He was like, I don't hurry when I cook. And then just like you could see it building. And it was like 12 seconds. And he was like, especially not with the proper equipment. Yes, I did it. Yes. And then she was just like, Puppy, Gino, thank you. What are you? What, Gino? Why?
But this was like an I think you should leave sketch. It was unbelievably bizarre. And then we head into the bathroom. Or the bedroom. She is crying outside, but Gino is in a mode where he's kind of like Frank Lucas, and he's like, I'm not going to be your fucking bitch, okay? And he's like, I'm not going to cook with the proper equipment. You know,
I told you I'm not going to come out unless there's the proper equipment.
And then he just fucking shoots Idris Elba in the head. But she's crying, and he's remorseless, right? He feels nothing for her because he's taking back his mojo. And that's when she tries to fuck him again, and he says, please get away from me. I have to go get my sleeping hat. Now, he does get the sleeping hat, and we end this segment with him belly down like a little boy in his sleeping hat. It's one of the saddest things and simultaneously one of the most hilarious things I've ever seen on reality television.
Here's the beauty. The trailer for next week, when he dare right out of the gate put down the prenup in front of her and she flips the fuck out. Well, you want to place a bet on how many episodes they're going to have of these two fools.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to be able to squeeze two more out.
Well, I think it's going to be quite a lot because what we've got is an international investigation into a murder. So, I mean, that could be the entire I mean, we don't even have to spend any time with Tyree. We could just be at Langley figuring out who the fuck tried to do this. All right, so we wrap up the episode with our favorite. You know, when you're doing the podcasting and you're trying to get to the next thing, you just say things. But Riley is definitely not our favorite. He's probably our least favorite because he's kind of boring. And he's also, as Rubes has mentioned, you've gotten on that train very quickly. I am now firmly on that train. Riley is a fucking creep.
And a control freak.
He's a weird guy. And there's lots of cool stuff where he's like listening to the jazz and he's smoking the cigars, but I feel like he could also, all caps, snap.
Also, probably have a room in the basement. Here's what I have to say about Riley. If you had a conversation with him trying to get to the bottom of what kind of women he was into and why he was always dating Asian women, eventually after 30 minutes, what it would deduce down to is they're less of a problem. You can control them more. If you were to distill his thinking, that is why.
Do you think that, Rubes?
100%. I 100% agree with that. I'm not joking you. I think because they're smaller sometimes in stature as well.
So Riley still has concerns about what the PI said. Read the Vietnamese woman. And he tells his buddy who is taking him to the airport that he's a little spooked and that he's a little concerned that she might be a liar because she, unbeknownst to him, texted his dad 150 times telling his father that he was a piece of shit and tried to turn them against one another. Now, there is no other response the friend could have than the one she has, which is, I have concerns. This does not sound right. Mm-hmm. But alas, he is going to forge on. He is going to fly safe weirdo all the way to Vietnam.
Well, but first he has a stopover where a 79-year-old man named Tony, who looks like our current president, who also is headed to Thailand to meet a 19-year-old named Pasha.
Well, Joe's not flying over.
Oh, right.
Joe is committed to Jill.
Right.
And Joe is having Gino-like freakouts with Jill, where he's like, I can't do it without the proper equipment. And Jill's like, you're going to get out on fucking stage, and we're going to have you do more shots this time.
Where's my special hat?
Yeah. Jill is running him into the ground, I think. Kidding. We don't know what's going on in their marriage. Ruby, that was a really unnecessary thing to bring up. Help me. Oh, so he is at this gate and he meets get out there, Joe. He meets Stop it.
Done.
Okay. She comes in to try to support her brother and she just alienates half of the audience. But we have to say that, and we've talked about this before, with vaccines and redlining and all of these issues, whatever you think about them is also what we think about them.
Right.
We're completely politically aligned with you.
Everything that you think, every crazy deranged concept that's hitting your brain right now, we're right there.
We completely agree. It would be boring to have political conversations with us because it would just be a ton of I couldn't have said it better myself. What happened in Maricopa? We would say that too. Right, Ruby? So he meets this creep in the airport. And
sex traffic lounge.
It is just such a sex traffic lounge.
You want to see my girlfriend? Oh, geez, Tony.
What are you doing right now?
I was doing them exchanging photos of who they're going to be meeting.
Yeah.
And that's Riley telling Tony, I wouldn't show that photo to anybody else.
Oh, Patrick, what are you doing right now?
It's the sex traffic lounge. Tony looked like a goddamn creep. Why are you 79 flying halfway across the world from America?
I know, but
what are you up to, you creep?
We've talked about this before, and I don't know if this is... Are we casting too harsh of judgment?
No.
No. I've been to Thailand and seen it firsthand. It is really weird, except it wasn't Americans over there. It was filled with Australians. The number one tourist destination for vacation is Australians going to Thailand. And I just saw groups of old, gross, white, red, pasty men with people that looked underage.
Yeah, like Ashley Darby's husband.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Oh, yeah.
Michael.
Smeagol Darby. Well, okay. So
no, I'm not saying Australians are into this thing. I'm just saying only because of simple geography that was a vacation place.
It's
for
a
creepos.
hop, skip, and a little puddle jump over there.
Yeah.
And before you know it, you are having sex with a man/woman who can shoot ping pong balls out of their penis and or vagina or butthole. It's a really crazy place. And the food. Oh,
I wouldn't know. I had cheeseburgers every night when I was there.
So we meet up with Riley's item, the person he's going steady with. Violet. And she is sitting down with her girls for a little coffee. And the topic of fighting 180 times gets brought up, and everyone is wondering why these two people who seemingly hate each other and live thousands of miles away are going to give this a go. But no, that's the end of the episode. But I really do mean it. Like, what if there are people who are just really love Asians? Are we to demonize that kind of thing? I mean, it's just a 79-year-old guy hopping over to Thailand because he's fucking into Asians.
I'm sure there's an Asian.com dating site. Even if you're 79, I'm sure there's a nice age-appropriate 60-year-old woman living in Kentucky, 40 minutes from you. Yeah. Go meet her. Right. The reason you're flying here is because you want something else.
Yeah.
Off the menu.
Rubes, you agree that we're being too hasty with our judgment, right?
No. I think they're going there in hopes of taking the women out of extreme poverty and bringing them to America where they'll have like running water and electricity and paved roads and things that they truly have never had before. And as a result, they will be required to fuck them whenever they want, to cook and to clean. And then when they don't, Riley will break your jaw and not let you die. That's good. So,
yeah. We'll end it with a quick story. You know, I used to work for one of these creeps, Sky Lounge creeps. Uh-huh. And one of my early tasks for him was...
That guy's in jail, right?
He was being tried for stuff. But anyways, I had to send out an email. And I've told the story before, but for new listeners, I had to send out an email. And, you know, I was probably pretty fucking baked when I sent it because...
It was a work email.
Oh, yeah. It was the announcement of a new podcast. And I put the entire contacts in the to field. It was not BCC'd. Everyone was in the to field.
How many people was that? So
it had to have been 2,500 people.
Okay. Everybody that he's ever known.
Anybody that he has ever known.
Including some people that he may have perhaps hurt in the past.
Yeah, sounds like it, because the first reply and only reply was, "Hey, why don't you have fun in Thailand this summer, you fucking creep? We know exactly what you're doing going over there, you fucking cokehead fucking freak."
Boss.
And I get a call from some new tech people that we're working with, you know, for the podcast and stuff. And he goes, "Hey, I was going into a movie." He calls me. He goes, "Hey, Dylan, I'm a little concerned with we've got a lot of privacy concerns because everybody's emails in the to field." I said, "You need to calm down. I'm going to watch a movie." Next day, that email comes through, and I go, "I think I might get fired." Bizarrely enough, didn't. Everybody have a great rest of their week. Jump in the iTunes ratings and reviews. Leave 5 stars. Kind words. Join us on Patreon for... Are we putting Vanderpump exclusively beyond?
Yeah, season 1 Vanderpump exclusively behind the paywall.
Yeah, so me, Pat, and Ruby are breaking down Vanderpump season 1, episode 1 this week. You can only get it at patreon.com. We love you guys very much for supporting us. Go follow us on TikTok, Bad TV Podcast. Also, go follow Ruby on TikTok, Papaya Dog Girl. That's it for us. I'm Dylan saying goodbye. Pat, say goodbye.
Later, dudes.
Rubes, say goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Rubes.
Super funny, Rubes. See you Friday.
Love you. Bye.
There's a lot of stuff on TV, but not all of it's good. In fact, a lot of it's bad.